What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Let's Talk Movies. I'm Brad.
I'm Miguel.
And if you're a Marvel head or if you've been following Spider-Man No Way Home very closely, you'll know that the last 24 hours has been unbelievable. 2 new images leaking all over social media. I mean, these things went viral in under, 30 minutes last night. Plus new information, some folks of inside the industry, and a new official image from Empire Magazine, which was released earlier today. Miguel, how are you doing, man?
Doing good. I'm actually pretty proud of the fact that we were able to get that leak in before a lot of people, honestly, because we found out live.
We did. We found out live on our show last night.
Shout out to boy who sent it to us.
It was fun to watch this happen and to watch the internet blow up over the next hour. So it's crazy. We're going to get into all of that stuff, but first, if you would, please consider subscribing to our channel and be sure to leave this video a like. We do live shows every single Monday and Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, and we also have a horror-based show called Purely and Simply Evil, where we revisit classic horror films at least once or twice a month. So let's go ahead. Let's get into the crazy updates of the last 24 hours. I'm not going to lie. I feel like Sophia Petrillo from the Golden Girls. Picture it. Monday night, episode 49 of Let's Talk Movies. So as we said before, as we were doing our live show last night, we were talking Spider-Man No Way Home. We were talking the new poster. We were talking some of the rumors and just how crazy this leak train has been in this marketing campaign, or many would say lack of a marketing campaign. I mean, we're less than 2 months and we only have a poster and one teaser trailer. And
literally,
that was the first time
and a keyboard could do a better marketing job than whatever the fuck Disney and Sony's doing. Let's be honest.
And seriously, this is either a complete mess up, or this is arguably the greatest marketing campaign ever, because they've had to spend barely any money and fans are keeping this so alive. I mean, Spider-Man No Way Home or Spider-Verse or Spider-Man or Marvel Studios or whatever has been trending pretty much on the daily for the last couple of months. Especially last night really hyped everything up once again. We were doing our live show, and it was the first time we had talked No Way Home in quite a while, and our viewers started blasting the live chat, telling us, check Twitter, check Twitter, check Twitter. And we were kind of like, so what's going on? And what had happened was a YouTube personality and film commentator, John Campea. You've probably seen the John Campea show. He's been around for, I believe, close to a decade or more. He posted 2 images on his personal Twitter account with the caption, "Real or excellent Photoshop, what do you think?" Now, we're not going to show these images because that would be a massive copyright strike. And we do still want to try to respect what Disney and Marvel and Sony are doing on this stuff. I think that's important to remember. And also, I'm going to go ahead right now and issue the spoiler warning. I don't know how you have managed to avoid everything about Spider-Man No Way Home, but if you have managed to avoid knowing anything about this movie, first of all, props to you. Second of all, I would leave right now.
Also, no, you might as well stay in, because if you click this, you obviously knew what you were getting yourself into. Yeah. Give me a break, guys.
That's fair. If you clicked on this video, you're kind of doing it to yourself. So here we go in 3, 2, 1. You've been warned. So the first image, at least the first image that we saw, was an image of Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland in their Spider-Man suits, unmasked. It looked like on, what would you say, Miguel? Like a dock? Definitely next
a pier.
Probably on a pier, a dock,
pier,
something
whatever.
like that. There was water in the background. I don't know if you're seeing Jersey on the other side. I don't know if we're looking at a different piece towards Brooklyn or from, I don't know where exactly it was.
Your guess is good as mine. I don't know New York. I know jack shit about New York and the map of New York, so I just take it for what it is.
I'm not sure. But that was pretty much the image. It was Tobey, Peter, and Andrew. Tobey, Tom, and Andrew, all together, unmasked, holding their masks, and they're kind of looking one certain direction. The second image was of Happy, Aunt May, and Peter all sitting at the table with a fourth mystery figure, which Tom Holland has ironically talked about 3 or 4 days ago, maybe. I mean, it hasn't been very long that Tom Holland has talked about this. None other than Charlie Cox's Matt Murdock, Daredevil, sitting at the table talking with them. So those were the 2 images. Now, Miguel, 2 things stuck out to me, at least. If this was just a quick Twitter post to have fun with your followers, why would you slap your watermark on the image? Secondly, if you had even thought that there was the possibility of these things being real, why would you repost them?
I got some, yeah, with John Campea, for someone that is as adamant and very vocal about spilling any type of potential spoilers, he's not a fan of that, and he's publicly stated really how he hates it. And for him to do that, it's like you set yourself up right there. If you were for you to say, is it real or photoshopped?
Yeah,
you're basically giving it a 50% chance of
you're like really playing. You're sitting at the blackjack table and you're like, yeah, take it again. Like let's go again.
Campea, that's your own head that you got to watch out for. That's your the crosshairs are in your back right now from Kevin Feige, and that's your own doing. No offense, my man.
So after those images came out, and of course it went viral within 30 minutes. We were talking about it on the show. I almost screen shared to Twitter because, of course, at first we didn't know what we were talking about. It hadn't went viral yet. It hadn't broken the internet. And I almost screen shared to our Twitter account. By the way, go follow us on Twitter at We Talk the Movies. And I'm so glad I didn't, because again, that would have been a huge copyright strike. Plus, we don't want to be those people to share those leaks and things like that. So shortly after John Campea took to Twitter, here's what he had to say. Okay, I've shared Spider-Man Photoshops before with like 12K retweets like this one. Then today I got sent these and think they're also great Photoshops because the one image has the classic mistake of having inconsistent placement. He goes on in another tweet to say of the light source. In the image, the light source is on the left side of Tom and Andrew's face, but on the wrong side of Tobey's. Obviously Photoshop. 5 minutes later, someone contacts me saying that they might be real. So just to be safe, I delete them. Go eat dinner. Watch some of them on the football game, then turn on my computer and find out the damn things went viral and I'm trending on Twitter. So yeah, I thought and still think they're fake, just like this one. So there you have it. He evidently is saying that he thought the images were fake. He did not think that they were real. Miguel, what do you think? Do you think those images are real?
Well, the thing is, we didn't think they were real whenever we saw them.
Really didn't.
We really just threw it on the side like, yo, this shit is fake.
Yeah, and I don't know. There were little things that started to kind of like, for example.
And you know the reason why, and I will say this again. I will say this once more. It's the fact that we've gotten so many fake pictures, so many fake posters, so many bullshit posts of things of Spider-Man on set, quote unquote, and it being other movies,
and it turns out to be fake.
Yeah, and like we've had so many fake leaks to the point where like we're not
last night on the show with the Sandman leak.
Exactly. It's just like we're being fed so much bullshit from these fan pictures and fan accounts that just want clicks and traffic on their feed, that every time we could get an actual leak, we just throw it to the side, and then it's just like, okay, this can't be real.
Right.
And then guess what? You end up like John Campea, where it's like, oh fuck, this actually is real. Because we're just so used to Photoshop now. And people photoshopping stuff all the time. So it's like it's all now from now on, it's like 50-50 whether anything you see now is either real or fake.
Right.
And it's just gonna be a hit and miss.
Yeah, and I mean, as far as them being real or not, I'm not 100% sure. I mean, at first glance, like I said, I thought things were strange. If you look at the picture with Charlie Cox, his leg looks like it's coming out of his crotch. I mean, it's like the placement looks odd to me. It could just be the way he's sitting. But then again, people have noticed his hair does look shorter. Even in the picture with Tobey does look older. I mean, it doesn't. If they turn out to be Photoshopped, somebody did a really, really, really good job Photoshopping them. And if you watch our show from last night, someone actually mentioned, I really thought they were fake for a few minutes. And then someone replied to one of just to show us, someone replied to one of our tweets and posted a side-by-side of the railing on the dock behind Tobey. And then also the railing in the picture that we got a while ago of Tobey and Andrew on the leaked set photo with the silver and yellow railing. And my jaw hit the floor. I mean, I was like, for a good solid minute and a half, because it was like, holy crap, is this real? And the response on social media, given some of the industry insiders and what they've said, I'm starting to think that it's a real leak. And I believe John Campea is too. And I mean, since then, and all of this has happened, John Campea has hosted another episode of his show where we've learned via the direct that a Sony representative did in fact contact him today regarding the photos. They wanted to know where he received the photos, but he did not disclose who sent them to him. And this kind of
because he ain't trying to be no snitch.
right. He's got to protect his sources,
Yeah,
but you also have to. He's got a relationship with the studios, and I feel like he's got to protect that too. You know what I mean?
Fam, this is a fan. This is like fan accounts versus industry, man. We gotta stick to one another. We gotta stick to one another. We can't snitch on each other.
That's
this
fair.
is a community. This is
on his show, he also added that there were more pictures. There were more than just the 2 I put up. There were indeed, I want to say 4, and I was going to post the other pictures as well. I was going to wait another 5 minutes and then post the other picture, and then I was going to wait another 5 minutes and post the other picture. I obviously didn't share the other 2 pictures, and the other 2 pictures are the more juicy ones. That's all I'm going to tell you, is that the other 2 pictures were the more juicy ones. But now that I know that there's a strong possibility that they're real, I am not going to be posting those. And he also said, I was talking to one of the studio reps today. I'll say the studio that has the letter S in it. And they basically said to me, I assume you thought these things were fake because you put your watermark on it. I don't expect that you would try to steal the Mona Lisa and then leave your business card behind for the cops to call you. And I'm like, yes, if I had thought that they were real and I was going to share them online, I would absolutely not put my watermark on it. So everyone knew the leak came from me. But again, why add your watermark at all, though? Even if it was somebody else's Photoshop work, even if it was something Boss Logic made, why would he put his watermark on Boss Logic's work? That just doesn't add up to me.
Yeah, none of that makes any sense to me. It's like, why would you want to put your watermark on something someone else did? That sounds kind of sleazy, my guy. No offense.
Yeah, I'm not sure. And he also went on to tease what were in the other 2 pictures. Keep in mind, this is coming from a guy who hates spoilers. I mean, he kind of famously now on Twitter, I've seen people quoting this
Call
tweet.
him out on him, yeah.
He actually said he believes that there should be $1 million fine for people who leak pictures of movies. And I just, that, I don't know, it seems extreme, and it also seems kind of ironic considering what just happened. And I'm not casting stones at the dude, but it's just all a little bit confusing to me. You know, I don't know. Same thing with when we reported on the Tony Moran stuff. If you're a Halloween fan or if you'd followed that, not casting stones at anybody. I mean, but we're just reporting on new information that as it comes available to us, and as it comes available to everybody. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. Please let us know what you think of those images in the comments. But that is not the only Spider-Man No Way Home news we have tonight. There is more. So
I'm excited. He's kept me in the dark too, my guys.
In an official capacity, Empire Magazine has released a new official image from the movie, as you can see here. Miguel, your thoughts on this new image? It's the same friggin' scene.
I know. It's a fucking highway, for fuck's sakes, guys. There's no fucking buildings for him to swing on. No, I'm kidding. What's he gonna swing on? That fucking Suburban right there? That Prius? Give me a break.
I don't know.
No, I mean, obviously, Spider-Man's probably making some little quick whip with about Doc-Ock. I can't wait.
It really does. It looks like he's saying something like funny, like a typical like teenage Spider-Man thing to say.
Yeah, well, I mean, Spider-Man is always known for making quick whips on his enemies, so I'm excited to see what he says, because how can I say this properly? Spider-Man has this, or Spider-Man and Tony Stark are the 2 people that I love so much because they have they always have like funny nicknames. Because, like, you know how in, like, how Tony has, like, he calls Fat Thor Lebowski? Yeah, he calls him Lebowski, and then he calls him...
Let's go, Lebowski.
Yeah, and he calls him Point Break too. Yeah, so it's pretty fucking hilarious how they have those nicknames. And I hope Tom Holland, Peter Parker, like, continues that, but does it in a different fashion, because I feel like we're going to love that even more.
Yeah. For sure. I don't know. My thing about this picture is that I don't know what the deal is, but it seems like they're only wanting to show scenes from the bridge. You and I kind of disagreed on this a little bit. I think this is closer to the beginning of the film, like one of the first encounters that Peter has with any of the multiverse villains. You kind of thought this was closer to the climax.
I mean, that's kind of what we're getting at, ain't we? Like it's gonna be like the midway point of the movie. You know what I mean? Like this is gonna be like the very first thing you see. Which you remember in Endgame they were saying like, "Hey, this is just like the beginning of the movie. Like you're not gonna see the end." You remember that?
Right. Yeah.
So like I can imagine like it. Which honestly, that did not end up being the case.
I would imagine the end of this movie is so, even the middle and the end, like the last 2/3 of this movie are so spoiler heavy that there's no way you could show anything. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of my guess, is that you wouldn't be able to show anything because of how spoiler heavy it is. So another thing that kind of came out with this Empire magazine stuff is we also know that Tom Holland has commented on No Way Home being a difficult story arc for Peter Parker, and that he will suffer a lot. He says, that this is an epic film. This is a lot darker than the others. Peter is going to suffer, even though he really has already suffered. I mean, we don't know about an Uncle Ben, but I assume he's lost Uncle Ben. He's lost Tony Stark now. I mean, he has suffered in the MCU, so I'm curious to kind of see how this is going to be darker. Even Daniel Rickman, RPK, says he took to Twitter saying, Spider-Man No Way Home will do to Tom Holland's Peter what I always wanted, make him suffer. I don't hate Holland's Peter or anything, but that's the whole point of the character. He has to suffer and lose everyone he loves. So that's kind of an interesting new
Jesus
take on
Christ,
that as
dude,
well.
He's just a kid. It's like
we
Steve
still
Rogers.
have 2 more trilogies, but man,
it's like Steve
put
Rogers.
the hammer down right now.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, he's just a kid, man. He doesn't need to suffer a lot.
Leave him alone.
I'll probably accept like Happy Hogan probably dying. I could probably accept that because I mean he wants to be like a behind the camera kind of guy.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
He's much better, or not downing his acting skills whatsoever. He's fucking great. But like I feel like he's the type of person that wants to be behind the camera, so I'd understand if he ends up kicking the bucket, so to speak.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to have him die, and then he's like he gives the famous "with great power comes great responsibility."
Oh, that'd be good. I didn't even think about that. That'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are hoping Tobey does it, which I'd be okay with. But it hit real hard if it came from Happy.
No, I want to hear him say, "I want to throw some dirt in your eye."
I want to
hear him say that. Yeah,
you'll get your money when you fix this damn.
There has to be like small little funny cameos from like the other Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
There has to be funny little cameos. Otherwise, where are we going with this, guys?
Yeah. I also need Willem Dafoe to say, I'm something of a scientist myself.
Yeah.
I need that, man.
I don't know if you've ever seen it. There was a funny video where it's like, it's in the first Spider-Man. They like ad-libbed him. And it was whenever he got he got gassed and he like chokes the scientist. You remember that scene?
Yeah.
And he's like, and it goes like ravioli, and just throws them into the fucking ceiling. I was like, yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
All right.
I just want more like nostalgic feeling with this movie, man.
Yeah.
If we're really gonna get Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, give me some nostalgia, man.
Yeah, for sure. Last little bit of news before we wrap up here. There was also a video going around of Octavius's death scene from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. Now, here's the thing. This is an extended scene. If you think back to Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2, after Octavius kind of redeems himself and he's floating down like into the sea after he drains the sun ball thing. I forget what it's called. It's self-sustaining now. After he drains that, there's a longer scene where you kind of see Octavius dip into the water and it gets darker and darker. And then you actually see the surface. And of course, it looks like it says like the property of Sony Studio or whatever. And it's got the runtime, the clock going. And then suddenly you see the water kind of flash with the multiversal like lights or whatever. And then it cuts to the Marvel Studios logo. So I don't know if that's real or fake. I'm not sure. I've seen that kind of floating around. And I believe that's speculated to be the opening of the film. For me, I don't know if I like that. I think that's a little too on the nose.
Well, that makes it sound like Doc-Ock is going to be like he's going to be the focus of the movie. And while that's cool, no. I'll
Yeah,
pass.
I don't
Tank,
know.
I'm out.
I don't like that setup for these multiversal villains, especially for Doc-Ock. That just seems to open with a scene from the Raimiverse just seems kind of, again, it seems like super on the nose.
Yeah.
But to say the least, it has been a crazy 24 hours, guys. That's going to do it for us. As always, we want to hear your thoughts. So please, please, please leave us a comment down below. Let us know what you think. We want to hear from you. New episodes of Let's Talk Movies podcast premiere every single Monday and Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're on Twitter and Instagram at We Talk the Movies. Guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us. We will talk to you soon. See ya.
Ravioli.